Hi. Oh, Vinny. How are you, Vinny? What's your last name, Vinny?
Funellas. Funelas.
Let me get that down. VinnYf.
Funelas.
Funelas.
Elas. Who is this? I'm sorry.
You Italian by any chance, Vinny?
No.
Good. Good. I'm just no. I'm asking.
How can I help you?
My name is Lee Kenworthy, Vinny. Have you looked at any of
I'm
the
sorry,
evidence?
What was your name?
Lee Kenworthy. Are you a supervisor?
Yes.
Okay. Have you looked at any of the evidence? Because the evidence that was sent in that email is from Dr. Latimer, Dr. Phil Infante, and it's 10 years stating that I do not have any mental health issues. My concern right now is I'm being threatened by dirty police officers, Benny. Corrupt police officers. There is a 45-minute recording of the federal marshal who threatened me and my wife the month before leading into her murder. We took that recording, Vinny, into the Lyndhurst police. They did not arrest him. They did not issue an arrest warrant for him, Vinny. Do you know the law, Vinny? That would be
no.
obstruction of justice, Vinny.
Can I ask what's your bottom line here? What is it that your expectation for our office to do?
You're the governor's office and the attorney general. Do you guys want to leave corruption in your state? Do you want to support it? Do you want to produce it? Do you want it to go into the next year? Do you want to kill your citizens in your state? Because one of your citizens, Shailene Kenworthy, was murdered. She was murdered on their body cameras, Vinny.
I'm gonna ask again. What is your expectation for office? What is it your expectation for us to do?
My expectation is for you guys to get in touch with the attorney general directly and to set up an appointment with me and the attorney general so that the evidence can be gone through properly and addressed properly. So that I don't have to keep... What do you think? If I reach out to you guys over 50, 100 times, what do you think?
Sir,
Yes, I have. The answer is yes, I have.
I want to start over.
Okay.
Because
Go ahead.
I'm asking you questions to learn.
Okay.
I
apologize.
necessarily need questions asked to me in a passive-aggressive way.
Okay, understood.
I really want to help you.
Understood.
Okay.
Let's reboot.
Let's start all over.
Understood. I'm with you.
So the expectation you have, and you're saying you have reached out to them.
Definitely. I have the email trail.
But you're looking for a meeting with someone in the Attorney General's office.
Not
Your bottom line.
Not someone. The actual attorney general, so that I don't have to deal with any more
Have you made
levels.
that request to them?
Yes, I have.
And have they responded?
No, they haven't. I also asked them on the phone that if I provide evidence of political, you know how a new initiative has been made with reward. I don't want a reward. I want them just to do their job. The new initiative for political and police corruption, public corruption, to give them the tips, etc., etc. I spoke with someone and I said, well, I have the prosecutor recorded obstructing justice in my wife's
Who did you
case.
speak with there?
As to the Attorney General's office,
Yes.
I'd have to go into notebooks and into recordings to get exactly who I've spoken to. Over 40 people over the course of this year. 40 people. I've sent the email and been sending the email with the evidence since January when I had to flee the state. Me and my kids fled the state in January. I had my children in my possession for 5 years, 2 of those years after my wife was murdered. I do not have mental issues, Vinny, at all. Trust me, I am of sound mind, body, soul, state, and being. I've been holding my crap together, going through all of this, gathering more and more and more evidence and recordings. What I have experienced and what me and my wife have experienced, it's disgusting. We were considering leaving the country well in that federal marshal's home to seek political asylum from the Dominican Republic consulate. Shailene chose not to because she was born there, came here at 4 years old, and this was her country, bro. She went to NYU Law, and she busted her butt for her family, for her father, for me, for my grandmother, for everyone. My parents are racist pieces of crap who grew up with the federal marshal, whose home we were living in. The amount of comments that woman endured just going around my family was disgusting. I left my family at 15, 16 years old and lived out on my own and paid my own tuition at Queen of Peace High School. So I was paying my own car insurance, my own apartment, and my own high school tuition. Does that sound like a man who has a mental disorder, brother?
I have no opinion.
That's fine.
Alright. Well,
Do you have a direct line that I could speak to someone a bit higher up in the Attorney General's office that isn't...
I don't have a phone number other than for citizen services. But if your ask is that you'd like to schedule a meeting with the Attorney General,
Yes.
then I will put you in touch with the right people.
Thank you. I appreciate that. So what should be the next step? Do you have a direct line that I call and touch base with you on Monday?
No, we just have our main line here. But I don't know what you called. Did you call 292-6000?
Yeah, I believe so.
Okay. Alright, I'm just going through the printout.
All I want in this, Vinny, is I want this to come to an end. You got to understand that in this, I came back to the state of New Jersey because I had to because of the lawsuits.
Alright,
When
what
I
is your
came
phone
back,
number?
my phone number is 312.
Oh, I got it. It's here. 312-964-2946.
Perfect.
Okay, let's see what we can do.
Now, what timetable should I look at? Because here I am,
know
6
there-
months later.
I do not want to, it's not going to be months, but I don't want to put a time frame on there because I don't want to,
I would appreciate it with my wife's murder being involved and how much I've endured for the past 2
as much
years.
as you would appreciate it, and respectfully, I don't want to raise any expectation and fail. So
I can understand that. Given the sensitive nature that this is coming to, I could definitely understand that.
My task, as I understand it, is to bridge between you and the Attorney General's or the Attorney General.
The actual Attorney General, yes, so that he, as the boss, can look at it without his minions beneath him trying to hide it from him. Say, oh my God, and then go through his staff and say, these are the emails and these are the people who also obstructed justice, keeping this from me for the past year. Because I'm so busy. Because I'm not going to get implicated in these crimes that people in my office just did. Because of affiliations, because of stockholdership, because of payoffs, and because of friendships from high schools and towns that they grew up in, political opinions, hatred, and the list goes on and on, Vinny. Because at the end of the day, my wife is a Spanish woman political activist who had a voice. A very strong, powerful, dominant one. With a beautiful body. And listened to by a lot of people. The woman made a tweet, it rippled. The woman spoke to you or anyone. She inspired you. Inspiration can move mountains.
Okay. Hello?
Yeah, no, I'm still here, man.
Okay. All right. I'll be in touch with you again.
Perfect, thank you very much. You have a good weekend.
Thank you.